So I cover a lot of anti-aging supplements on this channel, but there's one thing that I haven't talked about so much, although it is important, and that is exercise. But can you actually see the differences? Well, there is some research on this. So here is the paper that I think you're going to be hearing a lot about. Resistance training rejuvenates aging skin. So what's the scoop on this investigation? So we got 56 women. They're from Japan. They take part in a 16-week exercise training program. Basically, they work out 2 days a week for 16 weeks. They break them up into two different groups. One group only does cardio. Another group does only strength training. And in case you're curious, the cardio group worked out twice a week for 30 minutes a day, anywhere from 65 to 75% of their peak heart rate. As for the strength training group, here's what they performed. 3 sets of 10 reps of 6 different life fitness strength training exercises, which were as followed: chest press, leg curl, leg extension, arm curl machine, seated row, and a shoulder press. It's interesting they didn't include a leg press in this study, which I think is superior to a leg extension or leg curl, but we'll stick a pin in that for a later discussion. Oh, and because people generally get stronger when they lift weights, the resistance in this study was increased from between 50% and 80% of their 1 repetition maximum. That's fancy talk for the most weight they can lift only 1 time. So in other words, they lifted between 50% and 80% of the weight they can only lift 1 time. They did before and after blood tests of these individuals to see if there was any differences in their blood. They actually analyzed over 1,400 different blood markers, as well as skin elasticity and things like that, to see if there was a difference between the aerobic exercise group and the strength training group. So let's cut to the chase. Both the aerobic exercise group and the strength training group, they both saw improvements. Those doing predominantly aerobic exercise, they saw improvements in aerobic fitness, and those individuals who were lifting weights, they got stronger and their muscles actually got a little bit bigger. Again, no surprise there. Now, as for the skin specifically, both the aerobic exercise group and the weightlifting group saw improvements in skin elasticity, and the structure of the dermis, which is the layer under the outer epidermis, actually improved as well in both groups. However, it was only the weightlifters that saw a thickening of the dermal layer of the skin. You didn't see this in the women who did aerobic exercise. Here's a nice graphic they show in this paper, which highlights the major findings. And as you can see, while both the aerobic exercise group and the strength training group reduced inflammatory markers in the blood, only the weightlifting group saw increases in the thickness of the dermis. So based on this paper, it might seem that weightlifting is better than cardio for reducing the incidence of wrinkles and maybe even helping those wrinkles look a little better over time. Now, you know what they didn't show in this paper? Before and after pictures of the women's skin. I get why that is, because this study only lasted 16 weeks, which is probably not enough time to see with our eyes visual changes in wrinkles. So this study is really interesting, and I believe it's the very first investigation of weightlifting and wrinkles to come out. I am looking forward to longer-term studies to see if weightlifting actually reduces wrinkle appearance over time. What do you think of all this? Leave a comment below and let me know.